Hey folks, Valentin the Mad here, and today we'll be looking at the Gore in the extended gameplay trailer of Marvel's Wolverine. Beginning with body damage, it appears to be based around dismemberment, variations, and a localized overlay on the character. So first I'm watching this and seeing this wound, I think, do we have perhaps multi-layer damage? Unfortunately, no. I have seen this same variation on a different character, and we have this shoulder variation too seen at least twice. Now you may think, what about the claw mark? We may at least have that. Those appear to be pre-made as well. You will have the shoulder wound appear several times, in the exact same spot, exact same direction. Here we have just one slice in the direction, two claw marks appear. Once again a very familiar cut. And a few times where we have no wounds when there clearly should have been. And almost forgot, in the case of Wolverine himself, that's gonna be variations too. In this clip we have a few hits. As you can see, blood sprayed, it wasn't absorbed by armor, but no wound whatsoever. What is gonna be perhaps a little bit more accurately localized is the blood overlay on the character. You can see in several clips it clearly isn't just a generic all over thing, so it ain't much, but it counts. The result, if my impression is correct, is you will have the initial kind of like wow cool factor when you see those variations for the first time, but once again, you'll have them happen over and over again, same variations, same spots, so it won't have nearly the same impact as seeing a very cool response, a detailed wound at the very spot where you hit, where you slice the character. And it is doable when now have indie games do multi-layer damage. And not to mention the old game, I believe from 2008, about Wolverine, I think perhaps was the first game to feature multi-layer damage, only for Wolverine himself, and seeing that be disregarded for just a more simple response is quite unfortunate. In the case of blood spilling, the big focus is gonna be those Ghost of Tsushima-like particle blood effects. The upside here, they'll form dynamic patterns. So, where they land, it's gonna look different every time, and that is quite cool. But the main issue is you can't have too many. They are fairly heavy on performance, so I'd be pleasantly surprised if they last even 15 seconds. And as much as a cool initial response matters, you gotta have a good aftermath too, being able to look back and see all of the carnage, of the blood, of the bodies, the severed bits, and it isn't really a thing here. There are decals too, you can see here. As you can see, we have a blood pool, I think a single blood pool in the whole trailer. But even those decals don't stick around. As you can see here, less than a minute passed and they are gone as well. And in the case of animations, it's kind of standard action game stuff. You do have interactivity with some elements in the environment, it is cool, but there are no dynamic features that I'm seeing. In conclusion, it isn't gonna be a bad experience by any means. There is attention to detail put into every single aspect, and some things do look pretty cool. But in a game like this, I don't think it's unreasonable to expect that AAA level of work put into the gore side of it too. To see some dynamic features to really blow players away. Doesn't have to be as great as Last of Us or Dead Island 2, but you know, still something to go a little beyond. Unfortunately, I'm not seeing it here. So once again, not gonna be a bad experience, but I did have some higher expectations. Hope you enjoyed the video, do let me know what you think, and subscribe, more will be coming. I'll see you all next time.